What's going on, y'all? Chuck Nunface here. We're going to take a quick look at this one, get some first impressions. As you can see, it is a OTF knife. It is from Microtech, and it is the new Gen 3 Combat Troodon with that awesome dagger edge configuration. Bottom edge is plain, top edge is full serrated. That is my favorite configuration for a out the front automatic. I just think it's useful. I mean, first of all, let's take a quick look at it. It looks badass. I mean, that is for sure. There is no denying that. Let's look at that blade profile. The serrations just look mean. And just super useful too. You've got traditional standard edge for most of your EDC tasks, but you also, if you need to cut some straps, or your edge is getting a little dull, something like that, you're in between sharpenings, you've got the option of serrations on top there too. So yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. Like I said, this is the third generation of the Combat Troodon. It is not the first Combat Troodon I've had, but what was once old is new again. This is the same configuration of the very first CT I ever had, which was the previous generation. I had that one probably, I don't know, 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and it was a dagger style blade, serrations on top, and standard edge underneath, and it was black. It had a black blade, so that was a little different, but yeah, it was black aluminum chassis. And yeah, that was the first one I ever had. Since after that, I ended up getting like a Tanto one, and I had a Bounty Hunter one for a while, and I think I even had another one, but I can't remember if I had 3 of those at one point. I think I had 3 at one point, and 3 at a time actually. But yeah, this one just came in the other day. Just got it in from NC Blade. Great people to order from. Very good store. But yeah, getting back into it, I kind of get off on a little bit of a tangent there. Yeah, full aluminum chassis. Some different things on it right here is it's got standard hardware. I mean, this has been out for a little while. You've probably seen reviews on it and everything else. I may do a review on this. I may not. This may be the only video I do on this knife. We'll see. But it uses a T30 back here, and then T8 hardware. So Microtech has moved away from their proprietary hardware system, which never really bothered me because I wasn't really in the habit of taking these apart. But I guess it's good that they've just kind of gone down. If you really need to do a complete tear down on the knife and really just clean it yourself, you can. It makes it pretty easy to do so. But yeah, I mean, also the benefit of this too is the pocket clip is now reversible. Well, it was always reversible in the Combat Troodon, but it's just got, it eliminates, now I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. It doesn't eliminate anything, but it just is swappable on either side. So kind of fumbled up my words right there, but you know what I'm saying. One thing that notably has disappeared is that big glass breaker right there. It does still have a carbide glass breaker on the end, but it is not that protruding, half-inch, quarter-inch at least protruding nub that was on the previous iterations of the knife. That never really bothered me. I never really gave it a second thought, but now that I have this in hand and kind of seeing it, it does look a little nicer this way. The thing that kind of all the YouTubers are talking about on this new iteration is the ease of deployment on the blade, and you kind of have to see it to believe it. The thing on the previous generations of Combat Troodons was it was really hard. So, the UTX 85 was a pretty easy actuator. Now, I haven't had one in a while, but I'm just kind of going by memory here. And then the Ultratech was a little bit harder, but the Combat Troodon was really tough. I mean, it was really tough on the thumb. I mean, when I first got it, you got to build up some muscle memory right here in this little group of muscles in the palm of your hand, that control your thumb. You really have to get those muscles worked up, because before you do it, before you get the muscle group worked up and developed, I mean, you could basically force it out, and retracting it was kind of a chore, and then do it more than 3 or 4 times and your hand is tired. But this is it's very easy. Not easy to the point where it would be considered dangerous, or it would be too easy to deploy. It's just, I don't have to reposition my thumb at all. I can just do this. And now I have to wonder if any of the words that I just said even came out on video with all that clicking and clacking. But hopefully they did. It's very simple to, boom, I don't have to reposition my thumb. I just shift it. And in and out. Super easy. But like I say, not dangerously easy. I don't fear this is going to go off in my pocket or anything like that. If I handed it to my 7-year-old, I doubt he would be able to go ahead and get the blade to actuate by just pushing on the switch right there. So initial impressions are really good. I mean, I haven't had a combat Troodon in a long time, and I guess I missed it because it's pretty badass, and I really like having one again. And like I say, what's old is new again. Getting the same type of configuration. I know Microtech just released a single edge version of this knife. I doubt I'll be seeking more versions of this. You never know what the future holds, though. I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to keep this long term, but I'm definitely going to enjoy it for a while. I really wanted to get a new kind of out the front. If you follow me on Instagram, or if you subscribe to my channel, you see that I've been on a bit of a Microtech kick lately. Now, I was either going to get, I really had my eye on the Glycon. I thought the Glycon was a really cool design. I liked the way it looked. I kind of liked the titanium slabs on it and everything else. But the blade configuration I wanted this blade configuration, and the only ones they had for the Glycon, at least right now, they had the standard version, which is just plain edge on both sides. They had what they call full serration, where it's, partial serrations up here and partial serrations on both sides of the blade. I didn't want that. I wanted it like this, and the only versions that were out there were kind of I don't even know if they were considered signature series. I guess they were signature series. But they had DLC blades, and typically it was like an anodized TI on there, and then black aluminum chassis, and they were really expensive. They had like a $300 premium on them and everything else, and I was like, dude, I don't want to pay extra just for that blade when I really just want is the blade configuration. I don't know if I want to pay extra for that. And then they had the Anthony Marfione customized version with the hand flame TI that Anthony Marfione did himself, and I was like, and those looked awesome. I mean, I was really tempted by it, but it was like twice the price. It was more than twice the price. It was 3 times the price of the Glycon, and I was like, dude, I can't pay. There's no way I'm going to pay 3 times the price of the base knife because the guy that owns the company hand flamed the parts. I just can't do it. I mean, his hand flame backspacer and then the titanium slabs. I was like, I can't do that. I was like, I like the knife. I think it's really cool. I want to get that. And so yeah, I kind of decided, I was like, I'll either get the Glycon when it comes in this blade configuration, or I'll get the Combat Troodon when I see it in this blade configuration. And sure enough, I did end up seeing it. It's got the apocalyptic finish. I could have gone apocalyptic or satin. I would have been fine with either one, or stonewash, or whatever it is. I would have been fine with either one, but the apocalyptic was available. Apocalyptic on all the parts of the clip and all the screws, the switch, and so I'm pretty happy with that. The one thing, at least for now, that I noticed that I don't like is I don't know Microtech's reason for the inclusion of why they don't have that sealed off. I mean, when I look at that, I can see it's the blade housing. Okay, so see, let me get in the light right, if I can do it. So you see how you've got those parts right there. They're there, and then now they're not there. So it's got the internal chassis that holds the blade. You'll see it kind of snap back. I'm gonna do this somewhat safely here, where I'm not gonna hurt myself. They're not there. They're there. They're not there. They're there. I don't know why they kept that there. Is it for debris to flow through and not get stuck in there? So if you needed to clean it out, so I know Microsoft recommends you, if you don't take it apart to service it, you take like Ballistol or something like that, and you just spray it. It's like a gun cleaner, and you spray it down there, and it foams up, and it's oil based, and or whatever it is. It's a cleaning solution, typically reserved for guns, but obviously you can use it on anything with like moving parts and springs and things like that. and you just kind of shake out the excess, dry it off as best you can. And I'm wondering if that is just a channel for that ballast stall or whatever you're doing, if you just want to do a quick even water cleaning on it to get any sort of debris out of there. I don't like the way it looks, but I mean, there it is. That's the only thing I don't really like about it, visually at least. But I guess that's the functionality of it, is if you just want to clean it out. Anyway, this video is already about 3 minutes longer than I intended it to be, so I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. If you haven't done so already, I certainly would appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Give me a follow on Instagram at Chuck_Nunface, and stay tuned for the next one. Peace!